Hello everybody, my name is Ursi van der Herten. I'm responsible for the recruitment of our Executive Master in Marketing and Sales. We are currently here on the Esade campus in Barcelona, as you can see behind me. And I'm very happy because this is our first Facebook Live event. And also very happy to have here with me Loredana Vivaldi. Loredana finished the 8th edition of the program. Welcome, Loredana. Thank you for coming. And to my left, your right, Christoph Baumann. Christoph is currently doing the program. Also, welcome. So first of all, I want you to know that you're free to post your questions in the chat. We will answer them at the end of the session, so feel free, go ahead. In case you see that your question has not been answered, no worries. You will receive our email address and we will answer your questions at a later moment. First of all, as I said, so I'm responsible for the recruitment of this program. Have been working in Esade for 10 years now. So it's been a wonderful experience working for this program because I've been there from the very start. And I basically know all of our alumni. So this program is a joint program that we started working with our partner school Staboconi about 12 years ago. And this program is a joint program, and it is 14 months long, and it takes place in 3 different cities, so in Madrid, in Barcelona, and in Milan. And it consists of 7 modules, so that means that our participants are traveling. They live everywhere in the world, and they come together every more or less 3 months in one of the 3 cities for a 1-week module. So at the end of this program, suppose that our participants will have become experts in marketing and sales, and they will receive 2 degrees from both schools. And I would say that the most important characteristics of this program are, first of all, the diversity. So we have participants coming from all around the world, the flexibility of the program. So it's structured in a way that you have 50% online and 50% distance learning. And also what we've seen during all these years is the career change. So it's very, it's surprising and amazing, and it's a good thing to see that our alumni during the program, and also, of course, when they finish the program, they make a very fast career change. So, it's time now for Christoph and Loredana to talk about their experience. So, ladies first, maybe Loredana, you can present yourself.
Sure. Thank you. So my name is Loredana Vivaldi, as you all know. I'm from Venezuela. I have Italian background, so my family is also from Italy. So that's how I end up in Europe, in a way. I've been working in many multinational companies around the world, in a way, because I've been working in Venezuela, started in the US, living a bit here and there in the UK, Belgium, Netherlands, and now in Spain. So that's how I landed here. So.
Okay, thank you, Christoph.
Thank you. My name is Christoph Baumann. I'm Swiss, 34 years old, and like many Swiss, I have been working in the stereotype industries in Switzerland, in banking, watch industries, consulting, and then also a couple of years in the sports industry. I was also studying abroad during my bachelor's. I was working a bit abroad, so also with a very international background.
Christoph, why did you choose to do the EMMS program?
Well, I have been a generalist for recent years in my professional career, and I wanted eventually to specialize in marketing and sales. And at the same time, I told myself, at my age, I don't want to go back full time to university. And if I'm going to do a program, I want to do something truly worth it. And I moved to Barcelona 1 year ago, and I started to look at the Esade website for executive MBA programs, but then I discovered EMMS, and I knew in a second that this is my program, and I started the application process.
Okay, thank you. Loredana, why did you choose to do the EMMS?
Well, my reasons are very comparable to Christoph. For sure, the flexibility, the international background of the program, but above everything, for me, was very important the flexibility that I had. The fact that we can combine face-to-face session with the online part for me was crucial, because there are programs that typically for the executive program you need to go on Friday and Saturday, and for me, penalizing, let's say, my weekend, every weekend was too rigid. So also for my work schedule, my personal schedule also was very important that I can organize my time. Anyways, most of the weekends are studying, but it's you organize at what time of the day you study or do something around EMMS. Also, for me, it was very, very important the international background of the participants, because you have people from all over the world coming in here in Barcelona or to Milano. Also, the sharing that you do during that week, people are focused. So you're really focused on the program, on the people, exchanging information, experiences, and really not thinking about something else. Of course, you have always to multitask and do some work in parallel, but it's something that you can handle better than when you are just escaping for work on Friday and going right away into the class, and so you don't really disconnect, in my view. Okay. So I'm very happy.
So as you have already noticed, so the EMMS program is very diverse, Switzerland, Venezuela, Italy. So we have in our current edition, we have 35 participants. This is edition that Christoph is currently being part of. So we have 35 participants, and we have 22 different countries represented. So Christoph, maybe you can tell a little bit more about this diversity, not only countries, but also job-wise, sector-wise, where your peers are coming from?
Yes. Yeah, actually, it's a very crucial point. We have people, I think, ranging from 26 to 45, if I'm not wrong. So we have people who have worked in different industries, in different countries, cultures. It's of course very interesting and enriching to work with people from all over the world, and to learn from other industries. It widens your horizon, and actually a friend of mine from the current class, Lorenzo, and we are currently planning to found our own company, and I think this is also something thanks to this widening of the horizon, getting inspired from other peers. So this is definitely a big advantage of this program.
And also, something important, I think, that also promotes this diversity in the program is the way the program is structured. So it's 50% online and 50% distance learning. So that means that every 3 months our participants come together. So they in Milan, Barcelona, Madrid, and they spend one very intense week together. After that week, everybody goes back home, they go back to their job, and they continue with the classes. So that means that, for example, Module 1 takes place in Milan, and our participants will take 3 different courses. On Saturday, the face-to-face module finishes, and then everybody goes back to their job, and they continue with the same courses online. That means that during the week, you will be working with a group, and when we go to the distance learning part, our participants will keep working with the same group. So that means that in this distance learning part makes it, of course, more flexible. So our participants can organize their work. Some of them are traveling, others they have more time in the weekend. So most of the time they're able to schedule their work during this 3 months of distance learning. Of course, it's also quite challenging because everybody is based in a different country. So maybe Loredana, you can tell a bit more about this combination, this flexibility between the face-to-face and the distance learning part?
Sure. Yes, this was, as I said, my favorite part of the of the organization around the time for this program. Yes, I mean the first week of every module. Okay, we have this face-to-face session, and we start with the core class part in that week, so it's very intense, as Ursi said, not only because of the material that we are given, also because we get together a lot and have fun. So the next day you're there. So the after you leave on Saturday, you walk away with a lot of information, I have to say, but it's very exciting that after you just gonna refine and apply it, right, in the different assignments that you get. It's very well organized with an online platform that you can use to see the material that you need to read further, or the assignments that need to be done. Also, we have some web sessions with the professors, which is also very helpful to keep a little bit the contact, also not only offline with the peers, but also to keep ourselves a little bit in contact, no? Beyond the assignment per se offline. So I have to say that the challenging part was indeed to get organized with the peers, because sometimes people were in Asia, another peer in the US or Canada, and most of the people in Europe, but of course also different time zones. So communications in some countries were challenging also. But I think that's part of what we need to learn about. I mean, the world is global now, and we need to adapt, we need to be flexible and find our ways to reach our targets.
So Christophe, this summer during Module 4, we had the idea to give you a GoPro, and we wanted you to film one day in EMMS, so what's going on in the face-to-face module. So because, I mean, as we said before, it's very intense. You will be in class from the morning until the evening, from Monday until Saturday lunch break. So maybe you can tell a bit more about this experience that you filmed and what it is to be part of EMMS one day during the face-to-face.
Yeah, well, a typical day at EMMS, usually you wake up hopefully with your peers in the Airbnb apartment. In the best case, you go together to school, and then it's a long day, very intense day of studying from 8:30 until 7 at night. But it's very interactive. You have group assignments, you have individual assignments, you have guest speakers, keynote speakers from the private sector coming into class, so you never get bored. It's very intense, but you have breaks, and you have a bigger lunch break at noon, so you survive. And of course, at nighttime, most of the times you go either in smaller groups, or once a week we also manage to have the whole class at one table. You go together for dinner, and sometimes after dinner you go into a bar. But yeah, it's the perfect mix of pleasure and work. It's very intense, and at the end of the week you are tired and death, but you go home with a good feeling and looking forward for the distance learning. Yeah.
So the EMMS program, is a focused program on marketing and sales, but I would say there are 3 pillars of courses. So those that are related to marketing, those that are related to sales, and then also more general management related courses. So that's why, in a way, we could call it an MBA focused on marketing and sales. So these other courses are, for example, management. There's one course called Leading and Managing People. There's one course that is called Finance for Marketing and Sales, because at the end, we want our participants to be able to get into the board of directors of their company. So finance is really important. We will also be working on executive coaching sessions on the management skills, and also help our participants in their further career path. And also courses like negotiation skills, presentation skills. One course that's called Anthropology, that is more about how doing business, how to plan your marketing strategy, your sales strategy, depending on the countries where you're doing business. So maybe Loredana, you can tell a bit more about this. Not marketing and sales courses and how they helped you in a way.
Sure. Yes, I think it was a good complement to the core subjects, because these are soft skills that we all need to have, and I found very enrichful that the program included this, because some of them we all use already in our day-to-day. I think but it's things that you take for granted, that you think you know. But when you have someone refreshing your mind on what's going on, because everything is changing so fast, that I personally found it very useful. And also, it's true that it's not so comprehensive. It's not a core course, but still it's deep enough for you to understand what you need to be aware, and where to find more if you are into it, if you feel that you're having a weakness there, and something like really going into more detail just give you the chance to think about it seriously and consider it.
Okay. Christoph, do you have anything to add to this?
I think Loredana said the most important things. Again, in my opinion, also soft skills are increasingly important in today's business world. And finance, at the end of the day, it's all about numbers and figures. So, for those who do not like numbers, I can say one thing: the finance class was the class we enjoyed ourselves the most. Maybe not because of the content, but the professor is a very funny character, and we had a really big time with him in Madrid a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
Right. One important part of the program is also the business project. So from the 5th module, our participants will start working on a project. So every year we choose 2 companies that have a real challenge internally. So then we will present it to our participants, who will start working on this in group. So this is from the 5th module. They will be working together closely with the companies, and as I said, they're real challenges. So we've seen also in a lot of in the past that these the solutions that our participants came up with were really applied by the company afterwards. So maybe first, Christoph, you just started working on the project. I know you cannot say a lot about it, but maybe something.
Yeah, indeed, we had to sign a non-disclosure agreement, but I guess I can tell the partner. It's FC Barcelona. We're gonna write a business project for them. It's about their future retail strategy. Okay. Yeah, very, very excited about it.
So we will know more about it at the graduation, because this is the moment where you will present this project in front of the companies. So Loredana, you can tell a bit more about your project, right? Because you finished 3 years ago, I think. Maybe you can tell a little bit more about it?
Sure. Our project was with Alfa Romeo. It was very challenging, because themselves had a big challenge about how to change into another segment, the luxury cars and premium brands, competing with BMW, Audi, and all that. So already they are still in the progress of doing such a change, after being, having some up and downs in their own brand image and the products and what the number of products they can launch in the market. So it was a good experience, even though it was a broad project from which we make part. We make part of it, but not as a total, right? So we contribute to it in a part that has to do with more marketing research. And for me, it was a great experience, because it's sometimes when you have a small project, it's good because you have the better view of the total. But when it's just a piece of it, then you need to kind of investigate the rest and assume a lot of information around it. So yeah, in that way, it was very interesting. The brand per se was very good, and the for us, because it was very, people were very passionate to answer questions around cars, and Alfa Romeo generate. I didn't know that car can generate so much passion, actually. So yeah, because market research can be sometimes like, oh yes, and now you're coming with a market research. Do I need to answer all these questions really? But I mean, actually, people were very helpful, and even people that we didn't know. So we launched it in car clubs that in countries that we were not even knowing anyone, because we wanted to cover those countries, and the people respond so quickly, and even more than people that I know myself. So that was very exciting. And the big challenge was the whole organization for the group, I have to say. In that sense, start early. I think it's very important to keep that in mind, and don't underestimate, because this is your opportunity to apply your knowledge.
Okay, thank you. At the very start, I mentioned that one of the very strong points of this program is a career change. So we've made a survey some years ago, and it was surprising that more than 90% of our participants and alumni made a career change inside the company or outside the company. So maybe Christophe, you're still doing the program, but I know that you already made a change in your professional life, so maybe you can tell a little bit about it.
This program inspired me somehow to start looking for my own projects and business opportunities. So it somehow awakened the entrepreneurial spirit. And yeah, I'm about to found my own company, and also, as I said at the beginning, with a current peer from the class, we are also planning a players agency. So I worked in sports, he's working in sports. Yeah, we got inspired, and EMMS provides you with the tools you need to succeed. And I can talk for most of my peers, I guess, in the current class, that within EMMS you see what is possible. You see a whole range of business opportunities, and very often in your company you only can do a micro part of it. So I guess a lot of people in my class are looking for a change, and some of us already have done it or are in the process of changing.
Loredana, you come from an, I would say, not typical EMMS profile background, so because you come from finance. So how did the program have an effect on your professional career?
Definitely positive. It's been very fruitful for me, because even though I haven't, let's say, consolidated the change yet, I'm still in the transition, because I had to make a little pause for being mother during the last year. So it was a fair pause that I deserve after the program anyhow. But it was good to see the immediate results on how someone from finance, which is very hard to remove, even though you have been working as a support function for many strategic part of the companies, and have large experience, and not only doing the day-to-day finance, but mostly on projects that you touch definitely all the functions. Also, as an auditor, you touch all the different functions, but I wanted to be part of the business, not supporting, right? So that's why I wanted to do this program, and to help me to, because I had the soft skills and the experience in a way, right? But I didn't have something strong to sell my speech, right? So the master gave me additional tools, not only from empiric side, but from the actual studies and the application of it. So now I'm heard, let's say, by the hiring managers, and I'm getting interviews and getting offers. Unfortunately, a couple of them I couldn't take because of these personal choices I have to make around being my mom, and the location also was not convenient at the moment in time. But definitely, I'm working on that change. And in my company, it was very clear because even my company support me on making this program. They actually sponsor part of it, so they were aware that, I mean, for me was the next step. So it was very, very nice to feel supported in all ways for this change.
All right, maybe some practical information. So we are currently recruiting for the 12th edition of this program, and the next edition will start on 15th of January. Regarding the admissions process, I think it's important to know that you have to go through a couple of steps. First of all, we do not ask for a GMAT for this program because we are selecting our participants based on their experience. So for us, what's most important is experience, and of course also the motivation. Of course, you will have to send us some additional documents, apply, do an online application, and do an admissions interview. What is important for us, as I said, is the experience and the motivation. For the candidate itself, when you choose to do a program, it is very important, first of all, to check the school, the reputation of the school. Also, if the content, if it is the right program for you, if this is a program that will help you in your further career. And also, very important is who are you going to be in class with. So that's why we are doing these things now, to like today, this Facebook Live, and we are inviting candidates to come to class, to sit in class, to know the current participants, and to exchange experiences. And so I think this is important too. And also, when you start this program, you will become part of a lifetime network of alumni from both schools. So this networking is important. If you're looking to change your job, if you're looking to doing business with a specific country, a specific company, knowing that you have this access to all this information. So maybe, Christoph, can you give any advice to candidates that are like now applying for this program, what they should pay attention to?
Well, my process was quite late, so it's maybe not the exemplary one to talk about here. But what I would do, if there is any possibility, I would sit into a class. Now we have one class left in Milano in November, and talk to former students from EMMS, to alumni, who can tell about their experience. I think that's the best way. And then, of course, getting together all the paperwork you are requiring. This is a process which everybody has to go through. But talking to former students and sitting into the class if possible, if not living on the other side of the world, that would definitely help. Yeah.
Loredana?
Yes, I think talking to the people is very important as well. The experience from everyone, you can relate differently. So even if it's not physically possible to be in the class, Ursi, I think you are very helpful and trying to put people together to talk. Without, any influence or something. It's just about exchange information and how you can relate to other people, right? Because my experience have one profile, one moment, one situation that probably I do the program now and I will have complete different experience. But so that's why the more people you talk, the better, even if the profile of that person is not the same. So that would be my advice.
All right. Christoph, what would be one or two of your best EMMS moments so far?
Oh, that's hard to say. I think, in general, there are two moments of glory. Let's call it glory. But one moment is when you sit in class and you're becoming fully aware of turning into a marketing and sales expert. You have those moments from time to time in class. At least I have them. And of course, then off class, when you go for dinner, when you go for drinks, when you have other activities, sports, when you are with your peers in your apartment, and this social aspect, of course, is for me as important as the program itself, the content. So you have those happy moments several times a day, I guess, and I couldn't name one or two. There are just too many. Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah.
Loredana?
About the same. But yes, I think from the social part, I have to say that I remember very much our cooking class back in Bocconi. It was a lot of fun with the actual kitchen that was serving the lunch for us. So it was like a real getting together, because people would take it seriously. Yeah? Even if you were not an expert or you don't have any idea how to fry an egg, still the people were getting engaged and trying to deliver. And it was a soft moment to share all together, but not only around the food, the dinner, the formality or not, that I want to go, I'm not. No, it was just really, let's cook what we're gonna eat next. So as a team, was a great moment for everyone, because it's true that you pass through different paths. And up and down. So sometimes, the first module you are getting to know the people, you're warming up. The second, you know everyone, you work with them, but already you start working together as a team. So you have your hard feelings sometimes, but then when you are together, this first moment that you meet up with the people after the exams, the first day of that week, you have exams. After that exam, we all feel like, okay, we're ready to learn what we're gonna learn this week and to have fun. So let's go for it. So that moment, when we're done with the exam and you catch up with the people again, you start from blank page, is really good. I really enjoy it.
I have one more question for you, and maybe that's the most difficult, because I really like, both of you are very communicative, that's what I like. But I would like to ask you, how would you describe EMMS in one word? Only one word.
It has to be one word. Oh. I would say life-changing. 2 words, but one, right? That counts. Life-changing. Yeah, dash. Life-changing. Yeah.
Loredana?
I would say growing.
All right, so first of all, I think we covered a lot of the aspects for EMMS. I would like to thank Christophe and Loredana for coming. I'm sure that your experiences have been very helpful for candidates. And I believe that I am allowed to give your contact details if anyone wants more information. Okay, thanks. So we are just checking if there are any further questions online right now. And I believe there aren't. Okay, so no problem. If you have afterwards any questions coming up, feel free to write them on our Facebook or also send us an email. So we have an email address for the EMMS program, which is ems@esade.edu. I will be reading these emails personally, so feel free to send me any emails if you're interested in knowing more about the program. Feel free. So just for you to know that the next edition starts on the 15th of January, and we are still interviewing, and the deadline for the applications is at end November. So please let us know if you have any further questions, and thank you for attending. And I hope to see you in the future. Bye.